Welcome back in, YouTube. Do you and your G-spot enjoy a good FPS experience that also holds a potential for losing all of your equipment every time you go on a new run? What? Well, we're about to find out right now with this review of SULFUR. Today we are talking about the extraction shooter roguelite that is like, not light, there is a difference, I promise you, with a dash of RPG, SULFUR. Will this one be worth your time and money? Let me go ahead and give you the lowdown right now. Getting back to what I mentioned about this being a like and not a light, I'm only going to explain this a little bit more right now because if you go to Steam, it is going to say this is a roguelite. Reason I think this is more of a roguelike is that every time you go on a subsequent run, if you haven't hoarded the appropriate materials or the appropriate equipment, you're going to have a much more difficult time, and it's going to feel like you're more back at square one. That is traditionally what a roguelike is. Whereas a roguelite, as you go out on subsequent runs or subsequent tries on what you're trying to do, you'll have things like more crit chance just naturally on your person, or you're going to have more health, or you're going to be able to start with other things. And that's where I feel like this is more of a like as opposed to a light. It definitely gives you the feeling of every time you go out, you're kind of starting from square one, especially if you died the run before and lost all your shit, and you have nothing packed away for the next time. Now, this is all semantics, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I know a lot of people are going to feel one way or the other about my verbiage on it, but suffice to say, as somebody who plays a lot of these games, it does feel more like a light to me as opposed to a light. But to be fair, SULFUR does a very good job of blurring the lines on this one. After a brief introduction to the story that I am absolutely not going to get into here, we are dropped off at the town area of the game. Here you're going to find the merchants you'll be dealing with as you make your progress through the game and make all of your different runs. Each one of them specializes in one particular kind of item, while also selling various supplies that will have overlap between them. Think bullets and other things that are going to help you actually get through your runs. You'll also be able to ask them about themselves and other things that are conducive to learning more about the story and the goings-on that you are going to be a part of. When you're damn good and ready, it's time for you to make your first foray into the caves, the first biome of 5 you'll be seeing as you progress. The others being the town, sewers, dungeon, and castle. All of these biomes will boast their own unique enemies, loot, and challenges as you progress through them. So what can you expect on these runs? While the game feels and looks like a cozy cutesy type of experience, it is everything but that. Progress through each area is tense and in some cases frantic as you engage enemies and loot your way to new equipment, upgrades for said equipment, money, and various items you can use to cook up food to heal you or perhaps make yourself an explosive, like let's say a stick of dynamite. Imagine my shock the first time I put some goblin skin and black mushrooms into a cook pot expecting maybe some delicious crispy golden skin rat mushrooms and instead was given a stick of holy shit, I'm gonna blow everything up with this thing goodness. This highlights one of the first really neat things about this title. Your inventory is limited, but you're going to want to pack rat every damn thing you come across so when you find a cook pot, you can start experimenting. Oh look, a rock, a potato? I wonder if it'll make anything. Holy shit, it actually made mashed potatoes. I suppose if you take a step back, that makes absolute sense. All right, we made food. Back to the killing and exploration. Another awesome aspect of this game is that subsequent runs are always different. No two dives into an area are going to be the same in terms of layout. Enemy spawns are going to change, the possibility of finding new, potentially better loot is always going to exist, and vendors may decide to show up here and there. Some of these vendors are ones that you can't even find in town and will offer things to sell that may be more rare and harder to come by, which is also why it's important to decide what you're going to bring each run. In town, you have a stash that you can put some of your shinies into, including ammo and gold. So each run comes with a level of decision making on what you may or may not be willing to risk, as death, going back to this being a roguelike, means that you lose everything you're currently carrying. Sure, you spawn back in town and you'll have your stash to retool, but if you have a really nice set of armor or a super cool tricked out firearm you're really in love with, well, tough shit. These are gone now and it's time for plan B. Speaking of, the upgrade and customization of weapons in this one is pretty robust and very fun to mess with. Want a fully automatic shotgun? Oh, we can do that, Dave. There are scopes, there are silencers. You'll also be finding oils that you can put on your gun that can reduce bullet spread, do more damage, and allow you to maybe not even consume the ammo as you use your weapon. Again, and I cannot stress this enough, the ability to customize your firearms in this game is really top shelf and a lot of fun to play with as you find more stuff to play with. You're also going to have the option to get the out of dodge on any run with the help of your trusty amulet. This, however, comes with a condition. If you use that amulet on the last run, you will not be able to use it on the next until you get deep enough into said attempt and find the recharge station that just handedly happens to be right in the dead center of any given run. Or you can choke up 1,000 gold in town and have the old man there recharge it for you. And money in this game's a little bit important, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. But if you really feel like you're going to die on your next scav, go ahead and take that one, because getting out of dodge whenever you feel like shit's really hitting the fan is definitely a good thing. Your only other options for getting back to town are either getting through the entire area you're in or the aforementioned Ripperoo Dunkaroo, boys. Now that I've appropriately glazed this game like Johnny Sins may a certain kind of starlet, is there anything super bad about the game currently? Well, there are some minor gripes from my cantankerous old ass. Enemy variety isn't all that spectacular. You're going to find maybe 4 to 5 different kinds of enemies with the potential of them having some glowy aura around them that indicates something may happen when you kill them. They could be a nesting doll of enemies where more spawn when you kill it, or they could explode. Meaning if you were standing too damn close, you may be suddenly finding yourself back in town with none of your cherished shit. Enemy density feels a bit weird as well. Sometimes it seems like there are hordes on the run. Sometimes you're left wondering if anyone is home. This and the previous gripe of enemy variety isn't a deal breaker, but it can make the game feel a little bit disjointed and samey if you play it quite a bit. Don't get it twisted, this game is also incredibly hard. You are not going to breeze through it. You will die and be sad at seeing all your beloved swag going poof. This is a good thing, but in terms of user experience, the enemy situation can have a certain whiplash effect on expectations for each time you sit down to play. Honestly though, Sulfur is a sleeper hit I had no idea about until I saw someone I know playing it over on Twitch. By the way, that is also where I stream and check out new stuff all the time, as well as here on YouTube if you've any interest in joining us on the Purple Hellscape. Otherwise, go ahead and just make sure you hit your subscribe over here and turn on your notifications. Another cool aspect of this game, as I kind of touched on before, is that the upgrade and recipe aspect constantly leads to those moments of, holy shit, that's cool. The combat feels fun, the gunplay feels great. The adrenaline rush is there with bells on, given how when you die, you can very quickly and easily suddenly be back to square one, clawing your way back to effectiveness. Big disclaimer right now, this game is in EA. Developer Perfect Random has a very robust and contact-packed roadmap in place, though. After doing a big fix update post their initial EA release, they are currently planning on 3 new biomes, a gun and magic update, the ability to multiplayer, and access to an endless mode after you've beaten the game. The game is available on all platforms currently for 25 American greenbacks. While I may have only put in a small amount of time on this one, I do believe I will be getting my 1 buckaroo to 1 hour of entertainment in respect to my gold standard scaling system. I have very little doubt it's going to surpass that as well, given how much fun the game is and what they have coming down the pipe as it continues to develop. And that wraps up my first impressions review of Sulfur. If you enjoy a good FPS experience with the potential loss of all your hard-earned equipment, God knows my dumb masochistic ass does, then this one is going to hit you in the gaming G-spot. Let me know what you think below. Are you excited to try it? Have you played it already? What are your thoughts on it if you have? I truly love talking to you all about the games that I cover and your experiences with them, so make sure you put those comments down there so we can actually have a really quick talk about it. Again, make sure you give me that sub, turn on your notifications, and drop a like if you think I did a good job of wasting your precious time. I love doing this, and all of that aforementioned stuff goes a very long way in helping me continue to do it, and I really hope to keep doing it for a very long time. If you're interested, make sure you join our Discord. We talk about games in there a lot. We also have a really cool community that talks about a bunch of other stuff as well. In the Discord, you also know when I'm going live, whether it's here on YouTube, if you decide to jump over on Twitch, or if you just have your notifications here, as I mentioned before, you'll know exactly when I'm streaming anytime I do. I stream 4 days a week, so it's going to be pretty easy to catch a live stream with me in some of the games that we play. Huge shout out to all my channel members. If you really enjoy the content, if you're over here on YouTube, if you become a channel member, you'll also be on the scroll that's coming up. Go ahead and hit that channel membership. It helps a huge amount for me to be able to continue to do this, and I cannot thank everyone who does that enough. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll definitely see you on the next one. See you, YouTube.